Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Rachel and it's been about 3 weeks since I last washed my hair, and as you can see my hair is really dry and I'm long overdue for a hair wash. But that doesn't really bother me because it's Wednesday today and Sunday is wash day, so yeah, it's not too far off. So yeah, it's a win-win for me because my hair is dry but it's still moisturized. However, I need to style it in this hairstyle that I found off of Pinterest. So I found this style a few months ago and I tried it. I actually wore it 2 times before now, so this is the third time that I'm trying it out, and the third time was actually a charm because the first 2 times that I tried it, oh my goodness, it came out horrible. But today it's going to come out a lot better. And without further ado, let's just start right off the video. So in this video, I'm going to be telling you that few tips that I've learned to use over the years to protect my hair and prevent breakage whenever I'm styling my hair in its dry state. So the first tip that I'm going to give you is whenever you're styling your hair, make sure that you have a spray bottle filled with water next to you as you're styling your hair in its dry state. Even if you do not have a spray bottle, just get like maybe a basin or a bucket with some little water in it, and whenever you want to reapply water in your hair, what I used to do before I got a spray bottle was I'll just dip my fingers in the basin of water and like just pat my fingers on my hair strands and make sure that I get my hair damp, because every time you style your hair when it's dry without any kind of moisture, without any single drop of water, what is going to happen is your hair strands are going to be brittle and so they're going to break as you comb. And there's really nothing special about the water that I use. Personally, I love to use tap water. However, research says that it's better for us to use distilled or pure water. Basically, that's bottled water. And the reason scientists advise us to use bottled water is because it has less impurities than tap water. So whenever you apply products and you spray distilled water on your hair, the product is more likely to stick and work more effectively than if you're using tap water. However, personally, I feel like I use tap water for washing my hair, so I feel like it's the same thing. However, we should never dismiss things that researchers have said because everything that they publish is based on facts, like actual studies. So yeah, if that's what floats your boat, if you can afford to forego, look past the costs and everything that comes along with it, I would advise you to use distilled water as is suggested by scientists. And on another note, every time I'm spraying water in my hair, I don't spray water to make my hair like dripping wet, because when my hair is dripping wet, it's more likely to get all tangled up, and that is like another issue altogether. It will be harder for me to manage or to manipulate my hair and style it when it's like dripping wet. Also, the style won't come out looking very nice. If you've ever braided your hair, like maybe in corners, and you've braided it when it's like dripping wet, the corners like don't come out looking well. Also, you're more likely to get frizz at the end of the day. So when I'm spraying water in my hair, I want my hair to be in a state of like softness, moistness, where it's easy to separate it. And I've had very many people saying that our hair is in its most vulnerable state when it's wet. However, I disagree because in my personal experience, I found that whenever I work on my hair when it's dry, it's more susceptible to breakage. And some people go ahead to put leave-in conditioner. Yeah, well, you can put in a leave-in conditioner in your water if you want. But personally, I don't need to because my hair already has oil in it. The oil will work together with the water to make my hair softer and more manageable to work with. The second tip that I'm going to give you is please ensure that you avoid excessive brushing. And honestly, this may sound like the most ridiculous tip that you've ever had, but I remember in my earlier days of having like natural hair and trying to manipulate my hair myself, I used to like, of course, whenever I'd get my hair in like a state of being detangled, I would get a comb and a brush and I would aggressively comb my hair, not knowing that I was actually ripping out my hair and ruining my hair. And my hair used to be like longer by the time, but I was so ignorant. And I've seen a lot of people like just combing out their hair very aggressively. Do not do that. It may sound like common sense, like no one is supposed to do that, but it's not as obvious as you think it is. So what I would advise you to do is try as much as possible to use your fingers, because then you'll be more gentle with your hair. I hate whenever I comb my hair and it's dry and I'm hearing that sound of like that sound. I feel like I'm ripping out my hair, and literally you'll be ripping out your hair. But if you feel like you absolutely must comb your hair, you can't help it, like you have maybe a very important meeting, first spray some water to make your hair damp. Pass your fingers through it to make the process of combing your hair using a very wide tooth comb a lot easier. Then comb your hair in very small sections. I found that whenever I comb my hair in sections, it's going to be easier to manipulate. Also, it's going to take me a less amount of time than if I just comb it like together. Also, whenever I feel any tagging, stop and then use your hand to separate the hair with like your fingers, and there your hair will come out even looking a lot nicer than if you're brushing and just passing the brush through your hair. It's going to take you a lot more time than if you had just thrown your hair in a bun and walked out. However, it will do. My third tip is avoid wearing complicated hairstyles. So as you can see, my hair is really dry, and the style that I'm going to be wearing is the least complicated style you're ever going to see. Like literally, I separated my hair in sections. I've just separated it into 2 rows at the front, and then I braided the hair at the very front into 2 cornrows, and then the other second row I'm just putting twists everywhere. So basically I braided in about 5 twists on either side of my head, and then I'm just going to join them using rubber bands. And I'm not going to have to manipulate the hair that is at the back of my head, so I'm just going to tie it in 2 bands. It's going to be into 2 cute bands. And because my hair is in a dry state, I follow my own advice, and I'm not going to comb the hair that I'm not braiding in any way, shape or form. I'm just going to fluff it out using my fingers. I'm not even going to spray my hair with water because I don't want to have any chances of it like shrinking up. So what I'm just going to do is I'm fluffing the hair out using my fingers only, no comb, no nothing, and then I'm just tying it into a very cute bun. And you guys, haven't showed you how difficult it was to tie the first band, but literally every time I would tie it, it would come out looking a mess. So I first turned the camera off, and what I did was grab the ponytail and then start braiding it like in a 3-strand braid. After braiding the hair in a 3-strand braid, I grabbed a couple of ribbons and I simply tied my hair up using a couple of ribbons. And then I was done tying my hair with ribbons, I fluffed out my pigtails or my ponytails, whichever way you want to call them, because my hair was looking a little bit raggedy, so I fluffed it out to give it a little bit more volume. Then when I was done, I styled my pigtails or my ponytails in form of a ribbon. You know how someone would tie a ribbon? That's how I put my hair, and then I pinned it at the back using bobby pins. I actually used 4 bobby pins, 2 bobby pins on each pigtail of hair. The pigtails looked a little bit raggedy, so I had to go back when I was done with the whole entire style, like after putting even gel and I was done with everything. That was when I went back and worked on those pigtails, but you'll see how they came out later on as we move forward with the video. That is the third tip: avoid wearing very complicated hairstyles. Tip number 4 is I tie my hair before I go to bed. First, I tie it with a scarf, and then sometimes I'll put on a bonnet on top. When you don't tie your hair using a bonnet, what is going to happen is whenever you're sleeping and you lay your head obviously on your pillowcase or your beddings, the oil is just going to rub onto your beddings and it's going to make your items dirty. Also, like, the more friction that occurs between your beddings and your scalp, the more oil or the more moisture that you're going to lose from your hair, and therefore your hair is even going to become drier than it already is. And for me, what I do is, even when I'm just at home and I'm like maybe just lying on a cushion, like on a couch, even just on my pillowcase, I'm going to tie my hair to avoid it rubbing and also to avoid getting frizz, because when your hair is dry, it's more likely to get frizzy. So whenever you rub on 2 surfaces, the frizz is occurring and then you're losing oil. So even just when you're going to sit down and lean against the wall, make sure that your hair is protected in a head wrap. Tip number 5 is wash your hair. Please wash your hair whenever you need to wash your hair. There is no need for you, because your hair is dry, to just add product on it. All products that you add into your hair when it's dirty do not work. Like, they will not serve the purpose for which you originally intended for them to. Just piling product onto your hair will lead to build up and clogging of your pores and clogging of the hair cuticles. So don't put products onto dirty hair. Personally, I have a problem of dandruff, so I try to wash my hair as often as it needs to be washed to take the dandruff off and to make sure that my scalp is clean and to make sure that my hair is growing on a healthy and clean surface. And personally, whenever I wash my hair, I use very little product, so I just moisturize my hair strands with a leave-in conditioner and grease. I use avocado oil, and then also sometimes I'll put in olive oil to make sure that my hair gets out of a state of dryness. And so yeah, these are just a few tips that I follow myself. I apply them in my daily and weekly and monthly hair care routines to ensure that my hair not only grows longer, but it also grows very healthy. As you can see, we've come to the end of the hairstyle. And after applying the gel and tying my hair in that head wrap or headscarf, I went back and redid those little two pigtails because they looked like they were struggling a little bit in the beginning, so I had to redo them. And this is how they came out. Anyone who tells me that 4C hair is not beautiful or is not versatile is a liar, because ever since this year started, I'm glad and happy with the way that I've been able to manipulate my hair and wear certain hairstyles that I wasn't confident enough to rock prior. But yeah, tell me what you guys think of this style down in the comment section below. Also, please advise me on anything that I need to change about taking care of my natural hair. Write down any concerns that you have in the way that I work on my hair. Let's learn from each other. Otherwise, I'm going to be washing my hair over the weekend and taking it out of its misery, because girl, every time I wash my hair, I feel happy, I feel calm, and I just love the feeling of washed hair. You'll see the hairstyle that I'll braid after it. Tell me what other styles I should try out that you think are really, really cute. And yep, I love you guys. Recommend the video to anyone else you feel would need it. Comment down whatever you want. Don't abuse me. Don't insult me. No insults allowed. But yes, just subscribe and I'll see you in my next video. Love ya. Bye.